Hi class, I wanted to show you the navigation or menus on my site. You've been looking at videos on how to create a menu, but I wanted to show you what mine look like on the back end. So this is my website. I've got a home button, a shop with a lot of drop-down menu options here, which are categories, our story, explore more, contact us, and so this one also is a drop down here. These are different pages. So I mentioned categories here and explore more here. So since this is a shopping site, I have different types of categories of items for people to purchase. So we have our pages, we have our posts. Categories is another type of way to classify information on the back end. All right, so let's take a look at that back end. So I'm going to go on the left-hand side to Appearance and Menus. So this is a menu, and you've seen some of the videos that say, name it whatever you want. Mine here is just simply named About. You can see here that home is that first thing, and this just goes to the home page, simpleandsylvan.com. Then the next option is where I said there were all those categories under shop. And so if I just click down on one, this is a label indicating that it's a category here. And that's also kind of referring to this menu item over here on the left, where you can add different types of things. So I've got potential pages, if I wrote any posts, which I haven't here, custom links, which I could add. Maybe I wanted to go to Instagram and create a link to my Instagram page. So that's what a custom link would be. Categories. We have talked about categories being my menu item, here being things that you would shop for. That's actually sort of a bit of a funny thing. I have a plugin called WooCommerce, and that's where I can put product categories versus different types of categories. If you're blogging, maybe you have a blog about crafts and you categorize a blog about a particular type of craft. So there are just so many ways you can label information to pull into this back end. So this is just another added category for shopping websites called product categories. We can see all of those scrolling down here. And WooCommerce, like I mentioned, was one of those things. If people logged in, you could use this type of navigation. Maybe you are selling a digital product, so you have downloads, or if you needed to have someone modify their account. Anyway, getting into the weeds there. So back to my menu here. So shop, got all of those category options for those menus. Scrolling down, any one of your category items, if you wanted to rearrange it, you can certainly just click and drag, and that's going to be a sub menu item when it kind of clicks in and indents that way. So maybe I wanted adventure reminder signs to be all the way at the top, and maybe I wanted these to be alphabetically ordered. That would kind of go towards the bottom, and when that goes out and unindents, that creates a new level of top navigation. So these items here that are kind of lined up here on the left, those are my top navs, and then everything else is that drop down menu. Scrolling down here, our story, explore more. So this was the one that also had those drop down menu items. These all go to pages. So events, speaking events, wholesale inquiry, custom items, contact us. Not contact us is a separate page. So if I wanted custom items to be its own page, I would pull that out and save that menu. And I don't think, there we go. All right, so my site is having a little bit of a slow day. Aren't we all sometimes? It needs a little bit more coffee. Let's try that again. All right, so that got saved. So if I go back to my site, now I have custom items for wild places at my top nav. So that's a little bit more about navigation. I'm going to go back to change that back, and I wanted to show just that section of pages. Let's go back. All right, so here's my pages list. A lot of these were put in by that WooCommerce plugin, but we can see I've got my Explore More page, Events page, Custom Items, so all of those pieces are showing up as pages in the drop down.